Just research where you're going. A t-shirt where it's snowing. A preacher not quite knowing what he's saying. What he's saying. I don't wanna be around, lose control. I don't wanna be around.
being on that team as opposed to being on another team, or is it just
Well, maybe he's going to join that Brazilian squad, and they're going to be stationed in Brazil part of the year, and that's better for his personal life or something.
perhaps it is, but then like if he's joining NTC, well, some people say KNG has visa issues. Some people say, well, some people don't say that. So I don't know how much truth there is. I hope he doesn't, because I want to see him playing at LANs again. I'm kind of annoyed actually that we're going to see some kind of like muted KNG, because if you look at his like videos of him back to 1.6 days, he's fired up all the time. He's shouting at his opponents, all that kind of stuff, and that stuff is awesome. Like, yes, he said, "Prove it or I'll kill you," and that's over the top. But I mean, let's move on, man. It's like he was going to kill him, was it? I mean, maybe it was, but hopefully it wasn't. But
it does suck, because like I'm someone who doesn't. I slip up sometimes, but it's never that major, and I just feel so bad for these guys, because I've definitely talked to KNG in person, and of course, like, yeah, these guys, they maybe say a little bit of the wrong thing, or like when he interacted with FNS, it's like, I wish he knew FNS, because then like that would have been such a funny interaction.
Yeah.
But because he was in such a vulnerable state, and he doesn't have a super close relationship to him, that thing got blown out. And then the Thorn, it's like, come on, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That, like the series of events that have happened from that interaction just blows my mind.
Yeah.
So.
And for me, it's like, A, I want to see Counter-Strike. B,
yeah.
You want to see people giving it on LAN, because it makes it for a better show, you know? Like shouting at each other, like you saw people, even when Immortals were playing it in the booths in Poland, and you could just see them shouting, but people can't hear what they're saying. But that's like they're releasing their energy and stuff, and that's awesome. Yeah,
maybe
it's great.
I loved trash talk, and I loved giving and receiving trash talk. There was maybe one time in my career where someone said something but personal, and I literally said something outside. I was like, "Hey, dude, I love it. Just don't say anything like that." And they're like, "Oh, I didn't even know I said that, dude. I would never." And I was like, "Yeah, good." And we had like an understanding. That was when like the fire inside of little Jordan, little man syndrome. I was about to beat somebody up there and say something about my mama. But no, yeah, the trash talk is it's. I come from the Southern California LAN scene here, where I was 14 years old. I won a match, I got my face spit in, and like the nature of the scene was, I definitely don't promote that, but the nature of the scene was you had to be kind of like thick-skinned on LAN.
Yeah.
Everyone was yelling at me. Someone was saying, "Hey, you're tall enough to fit in that trash can over there, Jordan," while I'm like rushing up mid on Inferno. Like I literally remember that. And it was just kind of like the nature of them trying to like do anything to make me feel like, you know, it's funny. Like these things are funny, or it can embarrass you. But that was like the ice cold. That's where it was born for me, you know, just to play on LAN, you know.
Yeah, so. And I think that's cool. I think it has its benefits, because if you look at, there are infamous videos of the arcades in New York where. I can't repeat some of the things that were said, because they were pretty extreme. But there are videos. Just look at like Yipes and like Arcade or something.
I watched Smash tournaments at Web2Zone in New York before, when they had Counter-Strike there.
Yeah.
Ape crap. You see what I did there?
Yeah.
Censored myself. No, yeah, it is wild. That actually is to watch fighting game tournaments. I don't know what's going on. You came from there. It's the most hype tournaments ever.
But that's part of what makes some of these players so good in crazy environments, where they've got like 2,000 people behind them shouting all kinds of crap, and they can just tune it all out because they grew up in that environment. So I love that stuff, and it does make you know, things more entertaining for the people at home as well. So I hope we're not going to see some, you know, I hope he's not going to go like Mace and become like Pastor KNG now and just come with a white collar or something, because that would really suck. But anyway, SK versus Optic on Train. Indeed, we have Bolts here for, well, not Bolts, Stewie here. That's the one we're looking at for SK. Stewie, he's got the blue gear up.
I want to ask you, I haven't been able to watch Gade much, but I heard that he had aim similar to Config, which, if that's true, what a poetic start to the round here, as Gade gets an opening kill with the P250. And as I was saying, I heard some great things about him. This team's really interesting. You know, Stanislaw has been known to put together a very functionally and structurally sound team on the offense, right? So I'm curious to see what this team's going to do. Fallen is not, though. It's a 4v4 now.
Attempt from Fallen as well towards Ivy position. I always like it when you're about to leave an angle and you fire one more shot, because it's one time out of 20, you'll get a free kill and not even realize that you killed somebody. Anyway, Optic trying to surround the bomb site now. They've taken the Ivy position, but Fallen's causing more problems for them on the bomb train. Stewie will take his place, but he can't get the angle fast enough coming in from Ivy. Config watching the smoke as they look to plant the bomb. Cold Zero trying to run distraction. We see some burst fire being attempted by Stanislaw, and all kinds of weird things are going on. Press one of those. Fur coming in from the side.
Thank you. Cut my finger.
Oh, dear. Down goes Config, and we see Cajun B at the back. He does have an angle on the bomb. Doesn't have the range with the Glock, though, so the meat shield should be good. They've both got Kevlar. And there we go. How have you cut yourself?
I don't know.
I cut... Oh, wow. That's curious. I cut myself while commentating last week because I closed the knife on my finger. So, you know, I know why I cut myself.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's obvious there.
Ooh.
I actually cut myself yesterday as well. It's actually hilarious. I was trying to do my dishes and I literally grabbed a fillet knife by the blade because it was hiding under a dish. It was pretty awesome.
I think that's what you tweeted about that.
Yeah, it was before the stream.
Yeah. Oh dear,
There's Pistol going to CTs here, and since they got the bomb planted, they're opting for the third round buy. So giving Stu some, they're feeding him right now, and he's got the gun to optimize, get $900 per kill here. Trying to stack up.
Oh, I was going to say that's an important kill on the low ground, but he's not able to get there. That was the only man waiting for him. Not that he knew that, but he may have racked up a number of kills. Cold0 against his bell rung, and he's sure to get finished off. This might actually be a winnable round for Optic, weirdly enough, even though they don't have Kevlar, although that's quickly changed now, leaving Cajun B alone. Once again with the Glock. So, at this point, he has nothing to lose. And in terms of what there is to gain, a weapon on the floor. But, as you can see, we could not ask so much of him on this occasion. 2-0 to Optic Gaming, and with the bomb plants, Optic Gaming will be in for the buy. Gade dropping the AWP for Shazam. It was trained where I was calling him Shazam, so we'll see if he gets a spam game on.
Shazam.
Will it be full Shazam or full spam? Time will tell. Bolt's dropping a flashbang to buy a different grenade. Let's see where he's going. Looking for the IV peak. You can go for the IV peak, the stop sign peak. Just peek on top of one of two trains, or the peak towards connector, or the player trying to run towards Pop Dog. In the meantime, SKM with a very aggressive start towards IV, and that will keep Optic entertained for a while.
I'd play against this offense a lot on train, and you know, I would watch their demos and I would just try to find if I could see a pattern so that I could walk through that smoke like Gade did not do just now. And occasionally I guessed right and occasionally I guessed wrong, but it's really tough to play against because when they take IV from you like that, they just do exactly this. They delay everything for you, and the CT's SK is pretty smart to hold onto their nades. Like Fur right here having that smoke is so massive. And yeah, they do this really well.
Yeah, it makes it hard to execute your own plans, keep your own timings on point. You have to may feel compelled to tell the CTs that you might be there towards IV. Not necessarily that you are there, but that the possibility of you being there still exists. And now SK Gaming have one Molotov onto Stewie 2K. Basic pop flash from Config, no response per se from the CT side. Almost lining up for Fallen. Got to be careful now. 24 seconds. A great headshot onto Gate. No one has to respond. Finally, he'll get taken down. Cold0 tries to clean up, tries to escape with the knife, and he absolutely will for the time being. Stewie 2K now with that late Molotov, but it's not deep enough to stop the plant. So he's shown presence towards the back trains and will rotate towards connector. Will we see a boost here, perhaps? I'm sure the smoke will have gone by the time he gets there. So what is the play here? Cold and Stewie. They'll send Cold up. He's expendable man with 13 HP. Both with defuse kits. Where are these two T's though? Shazam taken out, but it's high health Stewie who's been picked off. Cold0 has no idea where KGB's coming from. He's on the opposite side of the bomb train. Finding the angle as Cold0 looks for a player from the main area, and that's the first round for Optic.
Have we reached the end of round time? Is it pretty consistent at all tournaments? I think like right as I was coming back over summer when I got benched, I think that change was slowly happening. I remember Tyler tweeting about it.
I know DreamHack and another org changed it, so it was like really fast.
That one seemed pretty quick. Are you guys on the same page?
That was like 5 seconds. No. DreamHack's one was like half of that. But then after a while, that was changed to something else or reverted. I don't know which one.
Yours is 5 seconds here?
It looks right now there's a countdown at the end of the round of the seconds left before the next round starts, and I think it starts at 5, so I'd say 5 seconds. Which I think is the default. It feels like default to me, or actually I think for a while. It was kind of overly long, so I don't know if it's a default. But anyway, we'll come back to that because there's a push. The sidewalk is held down by Stewie. Moving around, keeping Cage and B guessing. He knows he's heavily tagged, going for the one taps, but again, in a weird spot now. Had low bullets on both guns, and Shazam's activated.
It's a weird re-peek by Stu there. Without the reload, I guess he's not sure where. What?
Whoa, 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 okay. Fair. That was.
I wonder. It almost seemed like he didn't realize. It's almost like one of his teammates told him that guy was right there to your left, pop, because he like literally after the kill did not snap over. That was peculiar.
Okay, I'm so glad that happened because there's a clip of me walking on Mirage from T-spawn, flanking as a CT, and there's a guy on the upper ground on the corner throwing a grenade, and I completely missed him. What's even funnier was he's lagged out, just standing there, but I just didn't see him at all.
Look at, he definitely doesn't see him.
That is crazy.
Because I think his team must have had to call it. That must have been Stu or Fallen that just said it. That's so funny. Great job by Stu. Stu's been that for a while with the Molotov back pop and gets the kill and stays alive. Like aside from the quick peek, that he played that pretty well and kept his team in the round there. And now Stanislaw with the only AK here, gonna look for to prod for a kill here somewhere. He knows Stu might be spotting a little, but Stu's pretty smart with this. Aware that that's a possibility, and Cold over rotating again to the inside site. Whoa, that's quite the sound.
What in the blazes is that?
The Terminator and Predator are having a fight in our hallway, and
Someone's farting as well.
Terminator just farted, and that's Predator's inhaling.
Okay, someone is doing something with a pipe, so we'll ignore that for the time being.
Someone give me a instrumental. We'll freestyle the rest. All the things included should overwhelm.
50 seconds remaining as this push comes in from Optic Gaming. It's fine. Sooner they get done a bit the better, so we'll just tolerate it for a minute or two. But apologies.
We could also just like mute ourselves and just watch some good old-fashioned CS. And we just whisper.
Could do that. Gate is now the last one standing, but lots of damage has been done here to the CT side. 1 versus 2. Now Cold Zero's alone, spotted him. Can he get the bomb down? Seems he will entrust that he won't be peeked, and he's not wrong. Ooh, around the corner, Gate is on point today, and has surely destroyed the economy of the CT side.
I'm surprised Cold wasn't ready to trade there. He slid a little far back to hold the bomb train. Maybe, you never know what the communication is like in the team. Something could have been said with his location, but you would think if he knew he was from bomb, he would have been closer, so he must have not known. I'm going to firmly stand with that belief, but SK not happy with that round loss, and I go for the rebuy. Fallen with the scout in hand, ready to use it like an op. He's so good at hitting headshots. He's one of those players. There's a couple players that you watch, and somehow they just always hit scout headshots.
Yeah.
I have to get pretty lucky with the pre-aim.
Man, if you saw PKL's Scout 4K on train yesterday, it was crazy,
Disgusting.
Man. It was like top 1 disgusting on train. Top 1. It's absolutely absurd.
Looks like Terminator slowly losing the fight. Predator out there seems to have him on the ground. Most life knocked out of him. Optic. I like this play, the late walkout mid, when you know the team doesn't have a lot of ops, but Stewie with the perfectly timed kill there, he's going to be able to call the outside hit. They're all going to rotate and converge. He's going to maybe be able to push and get a flank. Fur already in ladder, though, with the great positioning, using the CZ, like the FAMAS, as we called it. Ooh, what if you got that last thing? Config, known to be the human aimbot, but you can't do much against 4 different opponents on your screen at the same time. And SK going to go ahead and take a 4-2 lead.
Marvelous. Very
Marvelous.
good, Jordan. Very good. Or Jordan, if you're...
Am I learning from you?
Jordan, I don't know. Are you?
I think my 2 main weaknesses is play-by-play are 1, my voice. Since I have such a high-pitched voice, I get more nasally the more deep I try to go. And then second of all, being a pro, it's hard for me to get super hype unless I legitimately am hyped about seeing something unique or new or crazy. But I guess the benefit there is if I do get hyped, you know it's some good shit.
Is that number 3 or
is that 4? No, it's 4.
It's like you like fifth Larry.
Robin.
Swedish
no, he's
tier
a little
of profanity. Although
all sponsors, I'm not affiliated with ECS in any way. I'm an independent entity.
Shazam with the AWP. Another rough round for Optic Gaming.
Wow, good kill there by Shazam.
Yeah, he's put it into a 5 versus 3. See if Bolts can hold his position. Ivy always an important area to hold, but he can't stop the bomb from going down, which compounds the problems here for SK Gaming. They are against the clock now. Zero against the world around the bomb train. Shazam though has been left alone and is 1 versus 2. He knows one player is Pop Dog, trying to advance as they try to advance out of the Pop Dog. Will they expect he's here? A lot of sound and commotion. It doesn't seem they realise, but they do now. Trying to get onto the bomb, but Coldzera can't do anything about it. Stewie up the ladder, off the ladder.
There you go.
Very sneaky stuff from Stewie.
Another questionable peak. Cold is, to me, one of the best players in these situations usually.
Oh no, defuse kit. He couldn't get it in time. It's on the wrong side of the bomb train.
See, to me that's confusing because they definitely heard him. He knew he was there. I mean, this is a major champ. How much can I actually say? But I guess from just like, you know, I'm here, I'm doing my job, I'm commentating, I'm analyzing, like, I guess I feel bad to say it. My opinion is, you know the guy's got to fall back left, right? And I guess maybe Cold's thinking if he peeks Stewie while Cold's holding E-box, Shazam will be able to get the kill and fall away. So Cold's trying to take the wider angle so if he gets the kill, but I feel like he could just be floating on that angle. Maybe he just didn't think he could be seen. You think Stu would tap it and then he would be ready to swing. You would rather let Stu die defusing and you guarantee the trade than you die first. But you never know in these situations what's going on, what angle he thought is happening, what call he got, what sound he heard. So that's why I feel bad. It's, you know, I don't like when you assume the player made a mistake always. Anyways.
You don't like getting called back. You don't like getting called out.
Yeah, when I was a player, I would have some things happen. I would hear the VOD after. And what does it really matter, right? Like,
oh, you just wait, Jordan. Next time you play a pro match, and we'll be like, oh my God, why has he done that?
Oh,
it's like, he just left forward. What do you want? What do you mean? We're 3 seconds into the round.
Nothing.
Bought Kevlar, left spawn on the pistol. I
Cut
can't
out
believe
with
he's done that.
Nade in his hand. That was my famous ones.
Granate. I had a long period of time where I'd get caught with the nade in the hands.
KGB about to go down to the FAMAS. I mean, CZ. If you're watching earlier, we proved that, again, that the CZ has something wrong with it.
The CZ is a FAMAS plus 10%.
Plus 10%. Obviously, the damage fall is 15% greater for the CZ, making that the caveat, but the price is...
yeah, if you're close enough, the CZ is a FAMAS.
Yes.
Plus 10%.
Plus 10%.
It's 10% better than a FAMAS. More damage, 10%.
That's so wild, because then it's like a maps like Cobble, if you're the drop player, like, you can definitely, like, CZ is totally viable, or the Broken Wall player.
Yeah. Yeah, I think...
Oh, yes. Terminator's got some life back in him as he's on the ground. Predator throws a right hook! Silence in the hallway.
I gotta say, this is kind of weird play-by-play that you're doing right now.
Well, if anyone just
but you've got more energy, like... You know, you got the energy there.
There you go. Thank you.
Raising for the sense of urgency is there.
You know, I will tangent back into what's actually happening here by saying it's been weird to watch Stu play with this group. Not that we've got to see them much.
Surreal.
It's just unique because I've played against the SK guys so much, and I've felt their presence from spectator point of view, from playing them on a stage, playing them online. And we've had so many like ideas and thoughts about how they play and how we should counter them. And it's just so funny to have one of my teammates, ex-teammates, be on their squad now. It's going to be interesting.
I feel like it's a spy.
Yeah, in the future I'll get to talk to him about all the Brazilian secrets and stuff. But for now, we just get to watch.
Absorb the Brazilian knowledge. That was one of the coolest things about any Beyond the Summit that I've been to. Which is all of them, but the discussion when SK players were on the couch and Person X would ask Person Y, what do you think of this? Just to, you know, expecting him to give the same answer that he would give, and just all being on the same page like that is really, really cool. Fallen won't have a cool time though on this occasion.
I think that's one of the coolest things, or the case studies, and I hope the longer CS lives, the more we see this in teams where they really create a culture of understanding throughout the team. They empower all the players to be able to make individual decisions that pave the game, and not just having one or two guys that think. And it's something that I think is getting more and more popular as CS teams. But it's so hard to do unless you fully buy in and invest into your teammates as players and people. Because, you know, these guys, you know, even when I heard that they had FNX on the team, you know, he just wanted to play. Or even I've heard Bolts or something, you know, and what was the thing with Simple and Flamey? Someone said on stream, like, Bolts just wants to pug. There's something leaked. And I think that even with those things said, I've never felt like the culture of their team has really wholly changed. Like, they've always been this team that they're all going to know the little tidbits, they're all going to share information, and they're all going to try to show up the best versions of themselves. So
Yeah,
it's really cool to see. Yeah.
So we see Shazam taking a different approach on this occasion. So many targets have fallen, and he most certainly hits one. Not a choke point you want to be in for too long versus a Brazilian team. Be it SK, be it Luminosity or otherwise. AWPers everywhere in that country. Cold Zero picked off now by Shazam. Fallen looking for a target. He knew one player was to the right. Down he goes from a teammate. So many places to look. Can't quite hit the mark. Optic though hitting the mark all over the A site. 3 plays surviving for them. They'll take an AW. Well, they've got the AWP on Shazam and 2 AKs to go. So definitely needed. Their money wasn't in the right place, but look what they've done to SK.
Stan is definitely, you know, Optic. A lot of people, for the naive fan, might just be like, Optic, oh, SK's falling off because this 4-6 score versus Optic Gaming or something. But they got to remember, one, the firepower that's on Optic, and two, like, Stanislaw has been close to leading. Well, he's led a world-class team before. They won the E-League. He's gotten to the level where he beat pretty much everyone in the world. Obviously not to the level like Fallen, but for them to be in this scoreline versus SK is totally viable and reasonable and is reality nowadays. And it's going to be interesting to see Optic's journey, because I'm not going to lie, when I first saw the roster starting to come together, I was like, I don't know about this. But when they have Stanislaw, they need someone like that to bring the structure, because the rest of those guys, I don't know, has Cajun maybe is called in the past, but I don't know if anyone else really has that experience to be that kind of leadership.
Yeah, structure
and then you have
so on.
personalities like Shazam and Config, which, you know, we've heard different things about them being like volatile when things go bad in the game. So like they really needed that kind of person to be an in-game leader. So gonna be curious to see how Optic does in the months to come.
Yeah, I hope it plays out with a stable roster, because obviously we've seen in the case studies of these international teams, we've seen that there can be some turbulence in terms of who is on the team until you can find common ground. Looking at FaZe, obviously they have to just like max out every statistic to find common ground. So,
and even then, didn't get all the titles they wanted.
Yeah?
Haven't.
Finals were not titles.
Yep.
But I don't think that's, like some people say, Ness, well, oh, it's time to make a change. But like if they're having that much success but just failing in the finals, I wouldn't say so. I don't think that's necessarily meaningful for change. If you're only losing the last match of the whole tournament, yeah, it doesn't look great to say second, but it's better than 5th, 7th, 9th, you know, 12th.
Yeah. And I think there's such an interesting case. You know, I think like Lurpus had a pretty cool point on it one day. Like, it's so hard. I mean, I don't know how he feels. Obviously, I think he has like these feelings about like how they run with Kerrigan or something. But in terms of like skill, you have to choose how much you confine a team like FaZe. But I was gonna go farther down that, but we might as well stay on the match. My tangents go pretty wild.
Hot flash towards the bomb site. The second one, I think they were both short of the mark, it looks like there, so that'll need some practice. I know people don't want to line them up too much because it would kill a lot of time. Speaking of lineups, Cold Zero lands one there. Not sure if Bolt saw the cross, but he's just shoulder peeking. Not really looking for a lethal engagement. Might have a burst at most. You see, just wants to see the information, then drop a smoke grenade. Do more than that. He needs to stay alive. That's a big frag from Fallen towards main. KGB was the only main player. Now we've got 2 players contained around the IV position. Creeping through the smoke gate, so sharp on the shot. As soon as Bolt sees him, he sees no more. That really compromises Fallen's position. He doesn't know that main is empty, so he has to fall back. He's got his player towards Pop Dog as well. So very limited in what they think they can do here, SK.
I feel like everybody knows Fur is in ladder, so he could play a big role in this round, but at the same time, everyone should know he's there. I'm surprised Config goes down first. They have a lot of time to scale to bomb chain.
That is well, that's the bomb, and the bomb is the round in this situation with 25 seconds on the clock and a man advantage for the CT side.
If they're aware enough, they could walk into that smoke and grab the bomb. I don't know if Gade recognizes that opportunity. He called for the flash though, and he got it.
Off we go. As we can see, Stu2K is now flanked towards the main position. Spots a player without the bomb, chooses to take him out. Maybe he thought he was going to engage his teammate. I think ideally, Stu is going to play the longer game there, but it isn't necessary. Stu with both kills at the end for another round for SK. Bolts on the MP9. Which is interesting in the IV position. Will compromise what he can really do there. Pop flashes again. First one, second one. Speaking of pop flashes, Stanislaw taken out towards main. That leaves him free to move the other pieces of on his chessboard, but seems their movement may be limited. We saw recently a nice pop flash from Rops in the ladder room, jump throwing a flashbang up the ladder out the window. Know what I mean? He was going out into A through Pop Dog.
Yeah.
And he bounced the pop flash through the window, like so bounced up the ladder, off the wall.
Oh, he was a T, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I get what you're saying.
Was he a T or was he CT? Well, whoever he was, he had to come out. He was one. He was a CT, but it was post plant, and he was 1 versus 3. But it was a cool flashback. I did not know that was even possible. It was awesome. I'll show it to you in a second. 40 seconds left. Speaking of seconds for Optic. Ooh, that's a big one from Config. Traded by Furno. And he will shut down the round. Running out of bullets is the only thing that's going to save Cajun B for the time being. Look at all those lasers trained on him. Kobe!
Great job by Fur. Was that 4?
I don't know if the grenade kill was his. I wasn't paying attention. I don't think so.
Oh yeah, he got 2 in T mid and then 2 late right here.
Nice.
Almost a ace.
Esaru.
Ace-a-roo.
I think you got to get an R in there.
A triple hop from SK here.
We saw this from Gambit yesterday, and it did not go very well for them, to say the least.
What's the gap here? I feel like if you think people have double ops, there's a lot of variables, but I think the old just E-box 5-6 smoke. You get out mid of the pressure and make them think you're coming through the smokes, and then you start getting some opening from on top of the trains. But otherwise, it's super hard to really break through anywhere.
1 minute and 10. Bolts is upgraded from the MP9 to the AK-47, which is something. 2 players in the IV position. Oh, he hasn't checked it properly. But Config's facing the wall.
Oh my gosh, I almost thought this thing would take a lot of damage.
Oh, Config, does he get a 30? Does not see Fallen on connector. And it's a 3 AWPs that remain. 40 seconds left for Optic, and Fallen's got to land this first shot. And of course he does. Moving so fast. He's the best AWPer, I think, to watch in a very tight, horrible situation. He has enough sense to look around at multiple angles. Down to the 2-on-2 now. 20 seconds remaining, and Stanislaw has opened up the B-bomb site for the rotation.
Yeah, I'd say Kenny S is the only person. Like, Guardian obviously is like a really good slithery player, but like the sense of, like the actual sensitivity Fallen uses and Kenny S use is insane with some of the like turnaround flick shots they hit. Daniel?
Am I live?
Hello.
You are live.
Oh.
Welcome back, Dan.
Hello. What's this then?
Stewie and Cold.
Aha.
Maybe I mean, are they going for this? They're nowhere near the bomb, and they spent a long time just getting out of connector, so this is going to be a close one. Not sure where the money is at the moment, but here we go. The smoke is down. Cold0 with the cover. Holy potatoes.
Those guys are good at Counter-Strike.
You didn't think that was going to happen.
They're perfectly read where the last two guys could be, and I mean, I guess it makes sense aside from back pop. And config, hurry up, brother. Almost let your boy die.
I think he might have knifed him if his teammate didn't come down the ladder.
Yeah. That little jump that Cole did on the little lip there almost actually cost him the aim punch.
Yeah, I thought he was done. With the inaccuracy. Last round of the first half then.
SK climbing back, hoping for 8 here after not the greatest starts to the CT side.
Well, that was really explosive. Fallen seems ready though. Actually, the positioning here for SK looks really, really good. Very, very chill. They don't have to really worry about anything. Just every T just coming from the front of the bomb site, and now it's just Shazam. Let's see what he can do. Nice, very nice. Smooth stuff from Shazam. Eventually get taken down. A7. It's SK.
And there it is.
Not having the most dominant of CT sides, but it's a pretty fair scoreline for both teams, and they're both very good train teams as well. It's actually always really, really interesting for me to see a Stanislaw team on train. I mean, we all remember back in the original Optic days when he took over, and it became the first map.
That's dirty.
Showing the flashbang that rops through from
Pop
Pop.
Nerd.
Yeah. It's cool, isn't it?
That's an awesome one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, this was the first map where I really saw a holy moly. Stanislaw is he's really likes this map. He's created a very strong structure for his team, and he has a very consistent approach to it. And so it's really cool to see Optic with this crazy lineup, like Stanislaw showing that he can do it again.
Can we keep the eyes on Shazam this pistol round? He is very good with the P2K, and since that's my weapon, Shazib is my boy.
Which one do you use? Which good?
I used Ocean Foam for a while, and now I don't even know what I'm using. Someone gave me some.
Wow, look at all these P2000s.
Yeah, Shazam is just look. I'm telling you, bro. He somehow always gets like 3 on these pistols. Just give me a couple more. Watch him. Oh, oh.
Sean yesterday was saying that Shazam's pistoling is just out of this world.
Maybe that's why I get it from. Like me and Sean used to play with him, and I've played against him online. He just always seems to get like 2 or 3 with his P2K.
Oh, that's a beautiful skin. You guys have got me on the skins as well.
That's a nice one.
Yeah.
Might have to pick one up and then
Get
not
the
use
amber
it.
thing.
I was gonna say.
I need to buy 30 more pairs of shoes.
I've been banned from buying shoes now
By who?
by the woman.
Really?
She said if I buy another pair of shoes, she will smoke an entire pack of cigarettes. I have a keyboard in the post. Gage now, the last man versus 2. Are those 2 P250s? Or are they P2000s?
P2000.
P2000s. The image is similar.
Similar.
Similar!
Slimila.
Marvellous. It just keeps getting better, doesn't it?
Big stack in the building.
Woo.
All this talking.
So, did you say I have a keyboard in the post, or was that the soundboard?
It's a soundboard.
Because
I
just don't know anymore what's real. What is real?
I don't have a keyboard in the post, but I do have something in the post, but I can't remember what it's called. Hold on.
That was crazy. There were so many P2000s. It's amazing. Well, force buy from Optic, the double scouts. We saw such an insane, maybe the most insane scout buy I've ever seen on train recently from Luminosity on the CT side.
He was just talking about that. Who was it?
Yeah,
Yell,
Dan. I was talking about it.
It was Yell and PKL, right?
PKL mainly, yeah. PKL 4K. What is this thing called? A loop. L-O-U-P-E.
I have something in the post.
What do you
Oh,
have?
what do you have in the post?
PC.
Oh, you have a PC in the post?
Yeah.
When is your PC due to arrive there?
It's supposed to be today.
Oh.
I don't know where it is.
Where is your PC? Where's Dan's PC? Send your tweets, send your opinions. Your thoughts, your queries, your
What do you mean?
comments.
How do you lose?
Apparently it's been delivered.
How many places are there?
Where's it been delivered to? That's not here.
Hashtag find the PC.
I need the MAC address. MAC address.
9.
Speak of the devil, he shall appear.
9 to 7. 4 players. The CTs are rotating all over the place. I'm not really sure what's going on. They've backed 4 people in B. Now they're moving around to the back of the bomb trains to Old Bomb. 4 people around the bomb train itself, and the CTs will exit. We're going to see 10 people survive.
That is rare. It's very rare.
On train?
On train.
I don't know if I've seen this on train before.
Jordan, what is the craziest, most ridiculous, most stupid round you've ever seen in your life?
Craziest, most ridiculous.
Most stupid, most awful,
Man,
most heinous.
I don't got that kind
Heinous
of memory.
is a great word, isn't it?
Let's see. So I don't know. The first thing that came to mind, just because we're watching Train, is I was in the WCG World Finals versus MTW in like 2009 in China.
Nice. Going back to 2009.
Yep, we're like a 1 versus 5. We planted the bomb inside Train. We just like got money back in our favor. We're on T-side Train. And we plant the bomb, and we literally cleared all of inner. But what happened is essentially what was flatbed now, which is tracks, you know. One of the guys on our team ducked behind the train, and then one of my teammates went to clear under the train and walked on his head, and didn't feel that. He like actually walked on his head for a level, dropped off his head, cleared the other side of the train, jumped up on the train, and cleared the other, and the other guy moved around the side of the train, and then we all left the site and he defused the bomb. They reset our economy, came back and beat us.
That is actually unreal.
There's been a lot of other ones, I'm sure.
Nice.
That
Yeah,
just hit my mind right away.
Oh man. Dredging up those sore memories.
Yeah, it was very sore.
That's that is
How about
rough.
yourself?
Oh well, I just saw this really ridiculous situation once when we were casting Oceanic ECS, which I bring up every so often, where I forget which 2 teams it was, but a T side with full buy took the A bomb site. The CTs had stacked the B bomb site with a full save of USPs, and they won. The CTs they had no kit, nothing. Just 5 USPs on the cash. They ran all the way from B to A against 5 rifles, full utility, and they had no kit, nothing, and they won the round.
That is pretty. That's.
I don't think anything beats
You'd
that. That's the biggest.
You could give me like, I would put like 100 grand on that.
Yeah,
Literally,
yeah.
like not tease, 100 grand. Like give me like my quick 5%. You know.
Yeah, that was pretty magnificent. I think
You
the more
win
common
100%
ones.
of rounds in Counter-Strike by being the better team.
That is a misquote. They cut the first half of the sentence off. Turn it into something it is not.
That's the most amazing quote ever. It's hilarious.
Fallen might get caught off guard here, but
Ooh.
Fur's got his back since 2012, baby. You're my leader, man. Not letting you die.
This looks pretty close actually for both teams. Makes it a bit awkward having the scouts, but Shazam is Diego the Scary. Let's see if he can do something with it. Unfortunately not. Doesn't find the angle. It's down to Gade with the scouts. Ooh, nice headshot on the Fur. He's ruthless. Got the P2K out now, looking for that kill on the Fallen 4, and a couple of tags away from a death from it though, and he will get the kill eventually. And SK will win the round. That was a close one though. Optic did pretty well considering what they had.
My new nickname for Fallen is the Torpedo.
Yeah.
I feel like that would go well. Gabriel Toledo, the Torpedo.
Nice.
He's a heat. Is that like what? Is there any like heat seeking to like an underwater missile or anything like? Because I feel like he's pretty accurate.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing to do with water that I can think of as an analogy.
I think it might still be
But
better
he's
than.
explosive.
It's better than the Librarian, isn't it? No.
But shh. You have nothing to say. Yeah, that one.
Do you guys think it's a massive conspiracy that we have? So like Steel has stepped down from Liquids. Taco has joined Liquids. What happens to Steel now? What's going on?
We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, he released a statement saying that he wasn't happy with his performances in and out of the game for Team Liquids. I don't know what out of the game means. I mean, it's like
Maybe
practice
he wasn't
or
showing up to practice super motivated.
I don't know. KGB just got shot by his teammate right in front of his crosshair. That's not a good start for him. But will it be a good start? No, it will be a bad finish as well. And there we go, there's the assist. So that's a problematic A site. There is some hope though, because Config is flanking. He's towards main now. I don't think in that exchange Cold Zero would have hurt him. So he needs to find 2, however. 1 simply won't be enough. There is Falling, can tell his teammates. Don't do anything, that's the first one. Oh, he needed more, man. He needed more, and he's got more. 12 bullets, he's running distraction. He's almost taken Stewie down as well. He's got 5 bullets remaining. Stewie pops out. Config's not ready for it. That leaves Gade alone, but he's made it winnable. Config, he's made it winnable. 1 versus 2, though. Gade does not have a defuse kit, so maybe it's not winnable after all. The AWP might be rescued, but it's round number 12 for SK.
Interesting repeat there by Stu.
Yeah,
That's
that
Counter-Strike.
I
Do you think,
never saw him winning that fight.
I'm not calling his peak on line, but do you think he would have won that battle on LAN? Because I feel like the peaker's advantage, I don't even know what the pings they're playing with online, but I feel like once you get like around 50, 60, there definitely is a little bit more, very small of a peaker's advantage.
I guess like those white peaks, like the white peak that he did, obviously he dies to the first bullet, but then he's like, well, if I just have to hit my first bullet when I counter strafe, then I win the fight, I guess, because it is really difficult. But does he do it on LAN? I don't know.
Not even calling the play itself online.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he has not many other options, right?
I don't think he should. I think there's more focus on LAN from his opponent as well. But obviously it's harder to deal with.
Situational adrenaline.
I think on LAN he dies. Look at that. Perfect flashbang. Gade is forced away. He's shooed away. He's swept away. I actually saw, I was walking down the street yesterday and I saw directions in case of tsunami next to my barbershop on Main Street, which is very curious. Anyway.
Look at that molly. That was a neat molly. It threw it from the trash over T mid. It bleeds from the top of the train E-box, so the guy can't play the hidden off angle from E-box. Good ingenuity there from SK Gaming. My name's Jordan Nothing Gilbert. Thanks for tuning in.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Don't forget to stay subscribed.
Don't
forget that if your Amazon is linked to your Twitch, you might have a free sub waiting. But this is not Twitch. This is YouTube. I was talking about live stream.
Well done.
Is there paid subscriptions on YouTube?
I believe so. You can.
Yeah,
you can
support
do
channels,
super something when you in chat as well.
I think there is.
You should look into it. YouTube.com, Jordan.
/face it.
That as well, yeah.
I'm just saying that. I'm plugging things at this point. No, I can't stream it.
By the way,
just stop talking, will you?
Quick additional point about the config Stewie duel.
Yeah.
Is config's crosshair placement was also like on the very lip of the doorway.
Rather than the swag wide angle.
It's supposed to be a bit wider out, and that's like another thing to think about as well, because I guess like I don't know, like if I mean you'll have to tell me, Jordan, like do the top players think about like when you're doing wide peaks, like a super wide peak can abuse that kind of crosshair placement. So are you thinking about the kind of crosshair placement your opponent will be naturally using? Because if you're just doing like the jiggle peeking, that would be fantastic what config had, but because it was a wide peak, it was not the correct crosshair placement. So
I know people definitely think about it. I remember Stu in particular telling me that like certain players, he calls it the crosshair, the size 5 pre-aim, because if you put the size 5 crosshair with 0 gap on the wall, that's how wide they're going to swing to the edge of it. So it's like he would say, Brax, he's a size 5 pre-aimer, I just duck peek him, like, and so like that was like a thing, you know, he's just, you know, so. There is some combos going on. I don't know.
Yeah. That's actually a really interesting point. I think so many players play off intuition that it's hard to figure it out. But back into the round, 13-7 for SK, and they're setting up some pressure outside. Will they bait out some counter grenades? They decide to run down the ramp to challenge. Gade ready. He ready. Cajun not as ready, but Gade still delivering the damage, the kills, and making the dollar bills.
And that is completely new to SK Gaming here. Very brief push from them and unsuccessful, but they still have a round lead to build upon. Optic playing the catch-up game. Yes.
I feel like anytime SK is playing a team they're confident, really confident against, they always do these like bomb train smoke. Maybe it's just the last time I saw them play. They did the same thing versus teams I saw. I like 4 or 5 teams. They seem to just do bomb train smokes, Ivy hit bomb train smokes, outside hit bomb train smokes, and they're hit. I don't know if the pattern's still there anymore, but it seems like when they start playing like the top 5 teams, they start to really get into that default slow, like pick them apart style more. So I don't know.
I guess it's harder to counter-strike.
Could be completely false. Just speaking freely here.
So I guess that's what you're worrying about at that level. Like, how do we avoid the counter-strats? How do we remain unpredictable?
Yeah.
I suppose. Bolts. Why
are you looking at me for approval? I'm not a PM of Japan.
I was just wondering if you're gonna get in on the
You are
on the
seal of
get
approval.
in on the bulk suit.
Yeah.
Configure.
I miss the sweet corn soup in the vending machines of Japan. They're
I've
outstanding.
never been to Japan.
I
Ooh.
highly recommend it. That's
How
my
does
favorite
he
peak.
get that kill? Wouldn't Fallen just be holding the crack?
That is a good question.
Because people always are like, oh, it's a crack peak. It's insane. I don't know how they hit those reaction shots. It's actually very easy.
But he could be looking at the radar.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Like, I'm definitely not criticizing Fallen's reaction time.
Especially on a map like Train, I think there's a fair chance.
Yeah.
You know. I share the same burden as Fallen, being a sniper who has to coordinate the team. So I often get killed by the radar. In fact, it's almost every kill time I die is because of the radar.
There's an amazing clip on your Mirage running into T-slope, and I think you can see that, like, you look straight up at the radar just as a guy that appears on your screen, but you run straight past him, and that was the clip. Yeah.
Oh, you were talking about that earlier because Fur did the most insane thing on B ramp, where Shazam was in the corner. Like, as soon as you come down the ramp, he was just right there. And he just didn't see him at all.
Oh, really?
Went past him, shot the guy on the bomb train, and someone else told him, like, Fur, there's a guy right there. And he went
You
back
could
and killed
tell
him.
he didn't see, and someone had to tell him because
Yeah.
he's like, what? And like just looked around.
That's amazing.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, I didn't think about that timing. Must be looking at what my teammates are doing, because in that situation, you don't want your teammates to die. You want them to just fall back, hold an off angle for a CT push or something. But then they always die.
Yeah.
They always die in that situation. They never survive. 1 AK round now for SK Gaming as Optic looking for double figures. 2 flashes and 1 smoke for the T side. They have started with their initial spread, and they will wait for these initial grenades, the granate of the SK Gaming side.
This is pretty easy for Stanislaw.
Huh.
I feel like...
Why did Stu not go down first there? Didn't Cold have the AK?
I don't know, but they did use a flash. I don't think it went low enough, though. I think it was just shy
Yeah.
of the mark.
Yeah.
Just shy. Here's attempt number 3.
Looks so dry.
Ooh.
Big
Fur.
monster.
Stealing those kills.
Let's go grab those guns and ladder, boys. We're gonna run the long route. We're gonna have 1 inside. Could be pushed up. Fur's aware. Doesn't care. Long hair. Anything he kind of plays to it. Like, hey, by the way, like I might be hearing you by the stairs. They know we're down ladder, which means they're gonna be queued in on outside, which means we're pretty much screwed if we go ladder. Let's fall back, so we have 45 seconds. You know they're going to be playing passive angles. There's a good chance there's going to be 1 bomb because they called that your ladder earlier. So now they're saying, okay, 1's probably near bomb train. So that's the Z guy in this case. And the other guy's coming to unknown quantity. Could be hell, which is a common spot. I'm pretending I'm not looking at radar here. Just trying to think in their shoes. So,
I love shoes.
You know, yeah, we've established that. So the sound I don't like from bolts here because if the guy was hell, which is a common spot late round, back 6, he might have heard that. But maybe I'm just stupid because it doesn't seem like he did. And the 2 versus 1, the XVX Masters here are showing me how to play.
Wow. Oh,
I love
the legs!
I love it. A lot of people don't know that
Oh,
black part
boy.
under does not exist. Under the train, it's
Wow.
actually non-existent. So not only can you spam it, you could also throw a flash and it goes right under the
Oh
train.
my god. It doesn't exist. It's like the Matrix, man. There is no spoon.
There's
There
a
is no...
singularity under the train.
There is no...
All of
bottom
James's
of train.
shoes are under that train.
Wow.
Boom.
Well,
Binga banga bongo.
Optic Gaming finding a creative way to get the 10th round here.
That is impressive.
I love when Dan's about to talk, he's thinking, you start moving. And I know Dan's talking.
Moving. Grooving.
Yeah.
Moving.
That's
moving.
like my cue to throw it, then Dan starts moving, jerking his head back and forth. So yeah, he's gearing up to say English.
Words are about to come out of his mouth and go.
Gotta get into it. Gotta get the body into it. That's what's happening, though.
Ooh.
That's why you go to physio now.
Configure. The op kill. Stewie 2K trying to prove his worth here as the new member of SK, shooting bullets with his AK.
Do you think it's a great big Brazilian conspiracy? Eventually they'll be like, oh, you know, actually the whole like having to speak English thing won't work out. Steele's a free agent, gets Steele in there. Then there's like Stewie, free agent, Cloud9's weakened. That's the team. It's a Brazilian takeover. I don't know. Either way, it's great to see so much.
They go to boot camp in Brazil. They buy Stewie a one-way ticket to Brazil. They leave him there.
Whoa. Yeah.
can't
This
get back.
is because of FNS.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that to our country.
No, goes back to FNS.
And the scene is rejuvenated.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Oh, wow.
It is really interesting. The scene is so strange right now. But it's great to see overall from Brazil, like that, like Luminosity. It's just, it feels like they're on the cusp of sort of figuring it out. Basically, they have pretty much all the tools they need to be a really, really great team. So I feel like there's just some. I haven't watched them enough specifically, but they definitely have a consistency problem.
And then, well, yeah, and then the guys at, what was that, WSG or whatever, that beat at Cloud9, Team 1?
I don't know, I missed that.
Team 1, right?
Team 1, Brazilian team.
Yeah, I don't even know all their names.
Well, were they just like a bunch of new Brazilian players? Or?
Not all of them.
No,
I think
I actually...
TRK, there's a couple of them I know for sure. Maluk.
I randomly commentated a game of, I think, Team 1 playing. Fallen had this Brazilian tournament, and there was no English stream, so I was like, screw it, I'll do it. So I commentated some games, and I think they were one of the teams in there.
Dude, those guys know how to shoot. Like, it's not a joke, and I think a lot of them have a good idea for how to play the game. Obviously, they've got experience to really reinforce what they're experiencing, but nice one. That was sweet.
Twice. Look at those holes through the wall.
But yeah, the Brazilians, it's really cool to see their scene.
Yeah, it's amazing. They're so strong. They are strong.
Could he wall Fur right there?
I don't believe so. I haven't checked it, but it's pretty thick.
Oh yes,
It's kind of
config.
depressing. I used to spend like all day in 1.6 finding like every spam spot and nade spot. Now like people will show me a spam spot and they're like, oh, I thought you were the wall bang guy. Shouldn't you know? I'm like, I stopped trying.
Yes, config.
Do it.
I like
Try
it.
to shoot through it.
It's like it's around. It's around. They only got armors and CZs. They drop a smoke. He's going to go forward
There's so
in front
many
of it.
targets, such
Love
a
it.
close choke point, and
Oh!
that was a nice one.
Oh. I'm disappointed now.
Nice.
But I love the fact that he's just like, because even though they had the smoke there, I feel like, oh my god.
Give it to me.
Even they have the smoke like in a behind config because they threw one in front to try to be able to work their way closer, and like the config could have let them do that and stuff, and like just play the contain game, just play the ops against CZs. Like they would have been so fine. But I just love that he just wants to get in there and kill everyone. Probably not the most consistent choice. We were talking about consistency earlier. In fact, it is not the most consistent choice, but it's the most entertaining one.
And
So
that's all
I
we're here
approve.
for.
I approve. Okay, well, consistent approach does not always win you tournaments as well. That's another thing to think about. Could take some crazy risks sometimes, do some unorthodox stuff.
Circa. Fanatic.
Yep, exactly. And also Astralis, when they were very, very consistent, always getting top fours. Perhaps that was the reason why they never got the big title as well. Play too correct all the time. Anyway,
Yeah, I mean, I guess to add to that while we're watching here, I don't know if you want to get some play-by-play, and I was just going to say, really quick anecdotal thing is, yeah, whenever you're playing at a like lower tier 2 level, tier 3 level for me, and I see the big executes from teams, it's always easier to play against those guys, even though the strat in theory might be cover all bases on their end. There's actually a lot of gaps that they're not thinking of if you just go outside the norm of what they're expecting, and you ended up getting like an easy 2-kill or something because they just didn't expect the aggression hit one spot. But
yeah.
Look at these
enough
smokes.
of that, as we're going to see SK with 3 guys ready to explode out ladder. Dan teaching me how to play-by-play here.
Yeah,
As Cajun B is close up in the smoke, 3 guys coming out, not expecting it. He might only get one, though, as they now know where he's at, and he has multiple angles to look at. But it's going to trade back and forth, 3 versus 3 situation. Cold's not sure where he's getting shot from. Stu gets the info, but not in time to save him. 2 versus 3 in a very winnable round, as they're going to try to back off from the train without getting killed. But no, they opt to stay and fight and say, we're ready.
Ready. Shazam ready. Shazam in there. Shazam 21 and 16, looking to make that 22 as he's got one player left to find Stewie. It's made itself scarce. And that is a problem on this bomb site. This bomb site is so hard. Where the hell has he gone? It's so impossibly difficult on this bomb site to work out where the hell people go. And Stewie is now working top of the trains. Oh! That was some damage. Shazam might very well get the kill. Indeed he will. But unfortunately for him, the round is dead. It's gone. It's lost. It's SK's. They are 2 away from victory here on train. I gotta say, if Optic were to do well in the season, that would be very surprising. but I could see it happening at the same time because, like, they are quite impressive. They're pretty damn good. Every time I watch them play, I've been impressed by the structure of the game.
Do we have any NRG in this? Is there any NRG matches? Are they
Oh,
in
in the coming
ECS?
days, I couldn't tell you, but they don't have that many
That's another team.
games left. Yeah, they've
so
been
good.
menacing. They went like 12-0, if not 13.
Yeah, 13 and 0.
Crazy, yeah, they've only just lost one map. Big fight here on the A side, so Shazam tries to defend the bomb train, targets high, targets low. He will tag one of them though. 4 on 5, all the SK Gaming players still intact. But Shazam is in great need of help. Trying to flick the A-box player, trying to stop the plant, but he can't, and everyone's dead. At the same time, it looks like it's going to be match point for SK, the first of 4 North American matches today.
Well, this is rather hopeless. Yeah, NRG have been incredible. They are the breakout team of the year, as far as I'm concerned already. Like, I feel like the tournament, the deep tournament, offline tournament result is inevitable for them. They just look so good.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, I haven't watched them as much as I would have last season. I haven't been watching as much of the CS in general right now. But when I have watched NRG, it seems like the way they're winning isn't too flaky. They had Fugly calling, and I don't know if he's still calling, and he might be. And that alone, whether he's second calling or main calling, helps Daps a lot, who I know was struggling carrying the weight of the team on his shoulders.
Yeah, yeah.
And wanted to get a little bit more in the mix. So,
That's
and then
actually
Cirque is
impressive.
absolutely insane.
Yeah.
On top of all that, so
Honestly, Daps has been really amazing on NRG. I've been very, very impressed.
yeah.
There's a quick push into that B bomb site. SK going explosive. They want to finish this one off fast, and it looks like they may very well be able to do so. Although, bit of resistance now coming out the connector position. Cajun B left alone. What can Renee do?
Boom.
Well, he gets wrecked by Cold Zero, as many have and many will in
Continue
time
to
to
do so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there it is.